makeup or a wig.
And we are back. Just as Sprocketeer says, I need some makeup for my... We're just waiting for Julius to come back, but then we are up and ready. So thank you for Roy Killer for your fantastic host. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed your what is it, PUBG game? I think that's what it's called. I'm not too sure. But I hope you enjoyed it, and welcome along. The party, if you're not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, the party, we're playing 5th edition, and the party is currently underground, searching for silver in Wittecombe Mine in order to be able to supply the blacksmith with money, silver, to make weapons. And so the mine actually got left by legend, according to legend, some time ago, when there was a sickly poisonous gas that actually drove the miners, gave them hallucinations and actually drove them mad. However, all the party have found so far are a bit of dust worms that they've dispatched, and this rather spooky area that was a bit like the Mary Celeste, with resting dead bodies down at the bottom. And so
also we can fight a pack of werewolves.
Yes. And they've just got to this part. I'll just transition it across to you so you can see it in more detail. So the party have just got to here, and we just got to the point that if you remember, guys, I was just telling you that this track starts to head down. This work, this sort of like tunnel work, doesn't seem as refined as the rest of it. And here there appears to be somewhat of a stalagmite that seems to have grown up, but there seems to be bits of what appear from this distance to be things like rope wrapped round it. It looks at the present moment in time as if, you know when you're trying to get rid of a tree trunk, a tree stump or something like that, and the tree's gone, but you wrap rope around the trunk to pull it out? It looks a bit like that. That's the best way I can describe it for you. Okay, off you go.
I kind of look at the stumps of the earth in front of us, and do I identify as a stumps of there might be a worm or activity of a worm
On the ground?
Yes.
No, the ground's absolutely just as normal. It's the size of the wall that don't look as refined as the previous area. So the previous area looked quite as if people have spent a lot of time on it. The walls in this part don't look like that at all. You can see some of the props further down to Ariel. You can actually see those now.
So it's either a tiny vein or of whatever they were mining, or it was the beginning of a new tunnel.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Or they cared more about the entryway than they did the tunnels. They're just trying to carve and get to stuff.
Any one of those ideas could actually be
accurate.
Accurate, yeah.
Well,
I kind of
then.
Yeah. I kind of do put my head out and have a look around.
Yeah, it you can see that there's some wooden posts in here, and the tunnel ends quite abruptly in all directions. You probably think it's the latter, that they started to mine in this direction, found that there was nothing down here, and just sort of like stopped. You do notice, Julius and Tenero, that the height of the ceiling from where you are goes almost like down on a slope until this point here.
So basically, they found, or it sounds like they found some resources and just mined the resources until it came to an end.
Yeah. Or they thought there might be something down here, mined it for a bit, but then found that there wasn't anything in this direction. These you can see from where you are, Bzooker, here and here, have the same as the one up above. They seem to have mined down it for a bit and then found that there's nothing there, and they sort of like left it.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of grunt to the group. There's nothing down here.
Dead end. Let's go.
Dead end. Let's go.
Job's done.
Job done.
Well, carry on, fearless leader. We'll take this tunnel next.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to go down. Yeah, not that one.
All right, do the downhill.
Yeah, I don't want to go downhill or do the blocked up here. I want to stay on this plane, explore this plane right now.
Kind of makes sense. The tracks go all the way.
You're not getting uncomfortable underground as we are you?
Me?
You don't want to go any deeper.
Yeah. Well, no, I just want to explore like one level at a time, if you know what I mean.
Or
Like,
it could be reassuring that nothing's coming behind you. If you know, that could be another.
Exactly.
Once we get the immediate vicinity cleared and we know it's safe, I'd like to bring the miners down to check out the rubble and the stalactite area, so we can explore the other reaches.
You'll be able to do that once you've cleared out one level. They're quite happy to come down. Right, yeah. Hang on. You can see
workbench.
Yes, exactly. Sort of like you can see that this area is quite high, and these posts are quite rigid up to the ceiling. There appears to be a workbench at the end of it that seems to have scrolls that seem to be open and sort of like weighted down, and there seems to be various drawing tools on the bench from where you can see. There's also there appears to be, hang on, I just need to change my light so I can see. There seems to be a pile of other scrolls there as well. Right, hang on, just let me get to the place that I'm in. Yeah.
Okay. All right, investigate the bench.
Cool.
And all these fancy scrolls.
Yeah.
So I'm in my mood then, as he falls down the pit.
Better me than you.
Yeah.
I might actually be able to get my way out of it.
Just time to shut yourself way back up. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Starts doing that monkey thing when you put your hands and legs on the other side of the wall.
Roll one.
It's all right. No, it's all right.
Oh.
I just need to check on something. Yeah, as you guys come down here, Tenariel, like I said, I would say to you, you notice that a lot of these pillars are actually split, and there's they don't look as solid as the other ones. They almost like look as if you know when you get a wooden sort of like fence post and somebody whacks it with a hammer, and it sort of like splinters out. They look a bit like that. Not all of them, but just a few of them. Julius, can you just make a perception check for me, please?
Yep. Roger. Persuasion.
Yeah, that's cool.
No.
Sorry, Tenariel, were you going to say something?
Sorry, I'm just clearing my throat.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just comment to Araval that I don't like it here. These posts don't look very safe.
I don't like it anywhere down here, but we got to get the job done.
Fine, it's fine.
I put my head around the corner. I was like, "What are you on about? It's natural, you know." I don't know what accent got again.
Araval, you can see on this on the workbench. There's you think once these were probably maps or scale drawings. There's a few faint bits of lines remaining, but it appears that most of them have almost like disappeared, faded away over the years. You don't know what they've been drawn with. There is some ink in a bottle. Well, there's an ink bottle, but no ink in it. And you notice that there's quite a bit of dust across this whole table. And to now, both of you notice that even as you came down this place, it's almost as if you're walking in light-coloured snow with the amount of dust that is actually in this place, down this section.
I kind of like not shout down to them, but it's like, grab what you can, let's go. It doesn't look safe. Let's get out there.
All right, let's get back.
Are you taking?
I'm not gonna push my way through, but I was like, let's go ahead and get our way out of here carefully.
Do you grab anything?
No.
I don't think there was anything worth grabbing.
And tell him there's a tunnel over here.
Yeah.
It looks like-
So this. Sorry, Bzooker. What can you? Yeah, you can actually see that there's water down this tunnel, and you can actually hear that dripping sound that you heard before. This tunnel here, you can see the tracks actually go underneath the rubble. So you figure there's been another cave in here that has blocked this tunnel off. But there's definitely the sound. And just, can you see this part here? That's
yeah. Are in the way to, yeah.
That you can only the start of this corridor is only like one person wide,
Right.
and that's it.
He's gonna head down there. See you, lads.
The most intelligent person within our group is going to go down a random tunnel on his own.
Doesn't he always?
Yeah. To be honest, that is actually Bzooker style. It's like, I'm looking for loot. I'm going down this way.
Can I actually see past it?
It looks like I see like stuff.
He's actually blocking the way in this tunnel. This tunnel is well, actually, he's only. How tall are you, Bzooker?
3 foot.
Oh yeah,
something.
you can see over the top of his head because this tunnel's only about 10 foot high. You can see there seems to be water at the end of it, and as Bzooker can make out, there seems to be almost like gems down here. I think you can actually see them, Bzooker.
Yeah, like red, white, blue.
Yeah, they seem to. There's not a flow of water, but the water is lapping against this part. So it's not flowing this way, but there's definitely a movement of the water. So,
Bzooker, I know what you're thinking, but if you go down there when we can't follow you, we won't be able to help you handle whatever's in that water.
I'll see you later then.
There's loot down there, money.
That might not be that's all that's down there, though.
Shiny. That's got his attention. It's cool.
I probably
Look at
can't
the
stop it, but I had to try.
shiny.
So knowing what I've known in the past with tunnels, can I or can he like use his scimitar to smash the floor to make out if there's any traps?
well, you can make a perception check to check whether or not there are traps down there. If technically, if you think about it, you're in a mine, so there's not likely to be traps, unless somebody has put them in since they've left, unless there's been some inhabitants down here. But you can almost you don't have a disarmed traps or anything like that, but a perception check will do. Yeah, no.
For him to do that, he's got a slight swing of sword about and everything like that. my perspective of Julius, from Julius, is I see Bzooker get his one of his scimitars out and start swinging in the air. And it's like,
What's he fighting?
Well, a perception check just means you're studying the ground in the area closely. You don't have to poke everything with his sword.
Yeah. Yeah, so there seems to be, Bzooker, when you get here, there seems to be, the water appears to be coming up from this point. It's almost like, imagine, you know, sometimes when you get a burst main in a road and the water comes up, it appears to be coming up from somewhere around here. You can actually see the bubbles coming up, and then it's flowing out down this way. It actually seems to, there's no hole there, but the general movement of the water is to that area. It seems to have flooded up this area, and you can see that there's drips of water that has come from the ceiling that are sort of like formed like stalactites, sort of like dripping down. So there seems to be stalactites from the water dripping down, but there's also this water coming up. There's definitely, as you can probably see from your area, there's you can see that there's a range of gemstones in the water. It all seems to be round about where it's bubbling up. That's right, where it tends to be. You can also see at that point that there seems to be also like a potion vial, and there's also like the only way I can describe this, and I don't know whether or not you'll understand it, you know, barley sugar tins. You know, tins that barley sugars come in.
you got to like turn the top end. Is that you always see like halfway down how much you have?
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's almost like tobacco tins. There's a couple of tobacco tins in the water as well, and you can see them quite clearly because it picks up on your dark vision, and you can see the glint of them under the water as well. They are actually they're very close to this where this water is spurring up, and then like I said, there's quite a few gems. You figure when I say quite a few, between 10 and 20 gems. All around. Some of them are closer to you because it appears that they've almost like come up from the water, then drifted out, and then the potion vial and these two boxes, tin boxes, they haven't travelled so far, but you probably think that's because they're maybe heavier, and so they don't have the distance.
BBC, does your character have a fishing rod by any chance?
What
I'm
can
really
you
surprised
say,
Bazooka's not already in the water gathering everything. His little arms can hold.
Look, shiny.
Bazooka, are you relaying this back to the rest of the party who are sort of like standing out at the end?
Who's going to shout back? There's nothing to see here. Move on.
I'll catch up to you later.
Just to let you know, the water is literally, it's about 6 inches deep, if that.
Make that.
God, it makes it so easy for you.
I said my piece. I just want to see what happens now.
I'm not saying anything.
Right. Obviously, he's going to get attacked, but it's Bzooker. You know what I mean?
Can't see you from here.
He's going to go and collect these gems.
Cool.
Cool. Good plan.
But yeah, I am going to relay back that there's treasure, found treasure.
I in fact, as I stay back but roll my eyes. It's like, oh, my character. It's like there's me. It's like,
I freaking love it if nothing happened.
Okay. Ervol, Tenariel, and Julius, can you don't do it yet. In a second, I'm going to ask you to take your headphones off. Okay, keep watching, but take your headphones off so you can't hear what I'm saying to Bzooker because he's now he'll be out of the way. But if you watch the screen, when I do this, then you can put your headphones back on again and carry on listening. Okay. So just so you don't know what's happening at all. Okay, you're done. Excellent. Are you still with me, Bzooker?
Whoa, we haven't done it. You didn't say do it.
Okay,
You
yeah.
said
If you take your headphones off now, yeah. All done?
Yeah, they're done.
Cool. Okay, then. So you get round the corner, and yeah, you can quite easily pick up these stuff. And while you're actually picking up some of this stuff, all of a sudden something whacks you literally on the back. It literally comes straight down and hits you, and it feels almost like stone. And you actually take 14 points of damage, and you think one of the stalactites have hit you, and when you look to one side, it's almost like it almost like seems to be like a big stone caterpillar thing that is crawling as fast as it can to this wall again. You suddenly notice up at the top that a lot of these stalactites seem to be slowly moving towards your point. Okay, so I'm going to bring them back in then, and then you can actually...
You tell me which way it went, because I didn't see.
So you are exactly where you are now, and then it's heading to this point here. Do you see that?
No, I can't see.
Sorry, hang on. See it?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Have you all got your headphones back on?
No.
Cryptex!
Yeah.
Cryptex!
Cool.
Put it back on!
There we go.
You all back with us? Have we got everyone?
Cryptex, you back? Booker, Cryptex. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah. Okay then.
Okay.
Bzooker, you can react now.
Right. Oh!
I obviously I hear that. Hopefully,
You do. Yeah.
I kind of rush in all the way up there.
Yeah, you can't rush in. You're gonna have to squeeze in.
Well,
Yeah.
squeeze, yeah.
So
It's like,
you squeeze down the gap and sort of like get down to the end, and you can see that Bzooker is almost like bent over, doubled. It's as if he was picking something out, and then something whacked him on the back, and almost like forced him down into the water. You can see that he's got a huge cut in his back, as if something or someone has sort of like pierced his armor at the back. You can see that he's taken damage. He's definitely taken damage. And you can also see that he's picked up some random things. You two can roleplay it. It's up to you.
I shout back to Samuel. You have you're the archer, aren't you?
What?
I shout, Errol.
Yeah. If you're talking about the archer,
Yeah. So I shout back. It was like, I need support. The archery support us.
I can support from here. If I see anything to shoot, I'll shoot it.
Yeah, come up so you can see all.
I
need to grab him.
There's actually, you can probably get one more person at that entrance, but that's it. And the actual height of that, it's 10 foot high. Remember, so Julius, you stand at what? 6 foot something?
6 foot. Let me just do my bio. Wait. 185. So that's 6 foot 1. 6 foot.
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
Cool.
Damn you Americans.
What's your wisdom save for?
Don't worry about that. That was just for me. I think
You can't keep that. You can't keep that. By the way.
no. I know. I wish I hadn't wasted it, but I wanted to make a decision based on my wisdom.
the best wisdom throw ever in the history of like D&D.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I kind of wait until Archer comes up, and then I kind of want to go in and grab.
Actually, seeing how tight it is there and how little room there is to stand in, I'm going to actually try and get around to the other entrance and see if I can see through there better.
Okay.
Wasn't that?
Because I know it's going to connect.
Okay, so when you get round to, well, we need to sort of like split this at time. So it's going to take Araval some time to get round there. So Julius and Bzooker, what do you wish to do? And Tenariel, sorry, you can act as well.
Yeah.
I'll move up behind Julius.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to grab
Tenariel, just so you know, and I'm not saying you have to do this, just so you know, there is room to stand next to Julius at that exit, although it doesn't quite look like it. What are you going to do, Julius?
I would like to like kind of wade in as I'm attackers. Here we go.
It's only literally this deep, so you can just sort of like whoosh yourself across.
Yeah,
if you wish.
I feel the water rushing into my boots or booties or whatever they are. Literally pick up Bzooker and then put him back onto safe ground.
Okay, so you sort of like go in and you sort of like lift him up so he's actually on. He's sort of like stood on his feet. He's sort of like holding various things, and you actually see just over here in the water, Julius. Actually, in the water, there seems to be something underneath the water, crawling to this wall. It appears to be about, can you see my camera? It's about this big. So it's just slightly over a foot. Slightly over a foot. Yeah. Slightly, no, it's like, yeah. And it almost like seems lava-like. And it's making its way to the wall. And you can see it, and you figured this is probably what has hit Bzooker. And Tenariel, as they go in, you actually see something drop from the ceiling straight onto Julius. You figure,
look out, Julius.
You figure it's sort of like a stalactite that might have come loose, and it just sort of like hurtles. It just drops straight down from the actual because Tenariel shouted and she was quite quick with that shout. I will give you a dex saving throw for this. So, but it's going to be quite high to make sure, because it is quiet. You just hear it at the last moment. So if you can get 15 or above, you could just take half damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you it. So you're taking half damage of this. So you take 5 points of damage as one of these stalactites drops down. You sort of like hear Tenariel say, what did you say? Sorry, Tenariel.
Julius, look out.
Look out, and you're sort of like your natural instincts kicked in of being a warrior, and you just sort of like launch yourself off to one side, almost evasion style, and you notice that one of these stalactites have just dropped straight from the ceiling. It seems to be solid, actual solid stone, and you also notice that it's sharpened to a very keen point on the end. You also notice quite spookily that once it hits the ground, it goes onto the water. It almost like concertinas a bit, and then it flattens itself out, and it's heading for this wall.
What?
No matter what, you figure it is somewhat alive.
This is some.
This
Like-
this is right. This is where I explain the rocks. They're alive.
Oh, it's like this is some alien stuff. It's like. Okay.
Right, Erval, you get round to the other entrance, and if you remember, there's this lump of rock.
Right.
When you actually get to it, you don't think it's a lump of rock at all. You think it's probably organic. It's definitely something that maybe was once living. It looks quite dried out. But the bits of rope that you thought were bits of rope that were beforehand, it looks, the outside of its skin is very stone-like, and the ropes are not actually ropes. They seem to be extensions of this creature, almost like tendrils or tentacles coming out of it, and it actually sits almost like blocking the entranceway and almost going up to the ceiling, but not quite. There is room to get past it, but you will have to go the same as Tenarial, the passageway down here. You would have to sort of like go on your side and sort of like squeeze past it.
Okay.
Tenarial, can you just make a perception check for me, please?
Oh, what a feeling when the ceiling falls on your face.
When Julius
16.
picked it up, where did he put him?
Just on your feet.
Oh,
Oh,
just
so
picks you up.
Right, okay.
Tenarial, you can actually see sort of like here and here. Sorry. And here. This amazing thing seems to be happening. These stalactites are not staying still. They appear to be moving along the top of the ceiling of the cavern.
So there will be stalactites then.
Yeah, they're tight. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
going towards them. You can see them, Tenarial, moving towards Bzooker and moving towards Tenarial.
I'll call out, look out above you, the ceiling's moving.
Okay.
And I'm going to ready my shield to stick above my head.
Yeah, cool. Good idea. Okay.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, Bzooker, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna stagger to the entrance over here and try and get out.
Okay, so as you pass that little curve bit here, just there, you can see one of these lava-like creatures crawling up the side of the wall. It's just sort of like, it looks like stone, looks like a stone maggot, and it's just crawling up and it seems to be able to stick to the wall. And you can see the one that landed on you that is down here is actually crawled up the wall, and it's almost like suspending itself just like a maggot would, its back end attached to the ceiling. Erevar, what would you like to do?
Would it be quicker to squeeze past it or scramble over the top of it with like an acrobatics check?
Either or. It's completely up to you.
Okay, let's go with the one that doesn't require a skill check to get it done then.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to squeeze through. Get my bow out once I'm through because I'm assuming I couldn't hold on to it and assess the situation.
Okay, so just 1 second. I just need to see what. Yeah, you as you sort of like squeeze past this organic thing, it almost like gives way to you. It almost like moves slightly away, almost like to let you have the opportunity to go by, as if it wasn't, it didn't want to block your entrance. So as you started to squeeze by, it slowly moved away from you to let you in. And then you can see this scene as you've heard it. So you can see that there's something. Hang on, let me just put these on for you, so you can see where they are, and then you have no worries about where everything is. Okay, so these are the ones that are actually moving. So there's one here.
Mm-hmm.
There's one there. This one that I'm putting on now, guys, this is the one that is crawling up the side of the wall next to your Bzooker. And this is the one that is up the wall. You can't see that, Erval, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But Bzooker, you can see it. This one is up the wall and is moving over to one side now.
So am I safe in assuming this one would be the biggest threat to Bzooker in the group?
It doesn't look like it's a threat. It just seems to be crawling up the wall. Are we thinking about going into?
As Bzooker gets onto this ledge where we are, I'll start backing away from the water back through the tunnel.
Okay.
That's my intended action.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Are we planning on going into combat?
What I'd like to do is ready an arrow targeting this one,
Yeah.
but I want to call out and say, what's the threat?
Yeah. I want to swing at it anyway because one of these has already hurt me.
Okay then.
It hurt me. I must kill it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
Revenge!
So let's roll some initiatives then, and then we know who's going what, and then everybody can go in that order.
Hey.
And the good rolls are gone.
Yeah. And then there they go. So wave goodbye to those good rolls. You'll never see them again.
We were just all pent up for those weeks we didn't get to do it. Now we've released it.
Lava thingies.
Lava things.
It's a technical term.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So Erval, you are up first. So what you can see, let me just tell you again. So this one here, hopefully you can see me pinging, is actually moving very slowly along the wall, along the ceiling, towards the rest of the party. This one here, almost like maggot-like, is crawling up the wall beside Bzooker and Julius. It's just crawling up the wall. Can you see this one?
Yes, about half of it.
Yeah, that one, as the one that I just pinged, is also moving across the ceiling towards the rest of the group. Okay.
Oh, what a ceiling!
And I don't think you can. I don't think you can see this one where I'm pinging. No.
No.
Yeah,
No. Okay.
I me and Bzooker can.
Yeah. So, but Alvar, so you two guys, you know that's the one that's actually crawling up. Has got to the top and has inverted itself and is hanging like a maggot with its flat end attached to the ceiling. Yeah. So go for it.
Okay. I think I've seen enough to determine that these things are aggressive. Bzooka's injured. Can I use my horde breaker and take 2 shots at both of these ones that are in front of me?
Yeah. Just link it in the chat so I can just.
I have that. I don't have it as a link, but I can copy and paste it.
Yeah, just copy and paste it. Just so I have a.
It's just in my
So
traits.
yeah, so that's absolutely fine. Yeah.
Great. All right. So the first one will be against the one closest to Bzooker. He seems to be the bigger threat to everyone.
Yeah. That's
That's
a nice natural.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good shot.
I come through for you guys. You
Yeah,
thought I was going to run away, didn't you?
Just keep that along, if you could.
All right, and then another attack on the one closer to me.
Yeah. Cool.
Nearly then.
So that's 14 on this one. Yeah.
Yep, on this guy.
Yeah. And then this one is the 8, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay then. So the one that's crawling up the wall, you whack the arrow straight in it. It doesn't seem to kill it, but it seems to give it quite a nasty shock, and it sort of like falls back into the water, arrow and all. You don't think you've killed it, but obviously with that critical hit, you might have hit something very critical in it. This other one in the ceiling, it seems blind to you. Definitely hit it. But it just seems to be completely mesmerized and almost like reptilian brain. It's just sort of like, I am moving towards them, almost like Dalek like.
Got it.
Okay, so these are the lava thingies. Roll. So this one, let me just move.
That was a Doctor Who reference, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was like, it was just barely making the connection in my brain.
So these can literally move 5 foot. That when they're on the ceiling, which you're actually 6 foot if you measure it to the middle when they drop. So although they're very close to you, Julius, they're not in.
Yeah.
They're not in dropping range, and
Got you.
this one is there. Okay, this one here, this one has started to go along the ceiling. Okay, so that one's up in the ceiling, and the one next to you, Bzooker, has started to inch its way out of the water up the wall again. Even though it's got a massive chunk of itself taken out by one of the arrows. And Bzooker, it is your go.
I have another chunk missing now.
Oh, that's fighting talk from the gnome.
One, let's go.
So I'm gonna scream at you, piece of rock.
Yeah, 19 definitely hits.
And I'm just gonna use the one. I'm not gonna swing both because I don't know we're in combat. I'm just taking a swing at it because this has already hurt me, and so I'm just gonna use the one.
Okay.
5.
So as it starts to crawl at the thing, you whack it with one of your scimitars, and it sort of like hits into it and glances off. It does make contact and actually goes inside, but it still there seems to be. It looks. I mean, there's ooze coming out of it all over the place, and all the water now is almost like discoloured around it, and it just still appears to want to climb up this wall. That's all it appears to want to do.
Almost like like an archaeologist. It's like, oh, this is an interesting wall.
Yes. Tenariel, you're up.
Well, now they've started fighting.
I didn't know we started fighting.
You've
Gotta
just
end the
bashed
combat,
one,
you know what I
means,
mean?
that means we're fighting.
It's almost like Harry Hill came round, on top of his desk. It's like,
You
fight!
Tenariel, you can see that Bzooker has taken a huge. He's got like a piercing hole in the back of his armor. You are aware of that.
Yeah. I know, but he will get himself into these things. I told
Isn't
him
that
I
his
couldn't
brand new
heal.
chain shirt too?
Yeah. I want to throw a healing word at him.
Yep. Oh, nice one.
For 10.
Nice.
And I'm going to back off a bit in case they come towards me to get out of the tunnel.
Yeah, cool. So you can add that 10 onto your hit points, Bzooker, yeah? Is Bzooker there?
So he just
yeah.
doesn't know he's muted.
No, he can still hear you.
Right. Has
I mean, if he doesn't want those hit points, he doesn't have
No,
them.
they've
Somebody
gone on now.
else
They've
can have
gone
them.
on now. I can see them. I'm not watching your cameras, so I'm just looking, and sometimes there's a delay in roll 20 before the bar goes up. Julius, you are up. You can reach these if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna like move around here.
Yeah. So it won't actually matter for you this round because you're not actually moving that far. But moving into the water should be classed as difficult terrain, just so you know.
Okay, great. By the way, I don't have the aid spell on me anymore. And I'm gonna being the only target that there is. In fact, no. What I'm gonna do. How far has that slug thing gone up the wall? Is it within on the next turn of BC's? Is it still within his reach?
This one here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in both of your reach. You still have the aid is still beyond, because if you get healed or you heal yourself as a paladin, you will still get those extra hit points back.
Okay. Yeah, great. So what I'm going to do is prepare myself. If anything, I'm going to put my shield above me. If anything drops on me, I will put my sword to stab it in the side. If you know what I mean.
Well, just to let you know, it's quite tactical. Both these on both sides of you can probably move to be over the top of you where you are now, and will probably bash down into your shield next round.
I will do it on the first one.
You ping the first one. I don't know.
Whichever first one moves. I don't know which one.
He's waiting for something to drop on him to attack it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Onto my shield, and then I'll stab it.
Okay. So then the second one will then drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
Good luck with that.
So, Airvolt, you are up.
I'm going to do the same thing. Double arrow.
Yeah.
Same order. So the one further south is going to be the first attack.
The first one misses.
Okay.
But the 20, so the one high up on the ground, and that actually hits. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking very, very sort of like injured now, but it's still doing this amazing, quite reptilian thing of moving. So lava thingy's turn. This one moves its 5 foot. Okay, so this one moves first. So that one a drop. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to just 1 second. Don't do anything yet.
I'm going to throw my shield like a frisbee down the tunnel, and it just skims over Julius's head as the thing drops.
Okay.
No, what are you gonna do? You're gonna land on top of it. You throw it, run after it, and then like skateboard down,
surf on it. Yeah.
So you feel, Julius, you feel the first one hit your shield. That's the first one that hits, and it hits your shield, and you feel it sliding off. Is that the one that you want to attack now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then. So whack that one. So that is this one that is now in the water. So you sort of like bring your shield down and swipe at it, but you actually try to swipe at it as it falls down in the water. You know, trying to do something really fancy, but unfortunately,
trying to skewer it from midair.
Yeah, it's a bit like whack-a-mole, and you don't get it quite right, and it sort of like lands down into the water. And while you're doing that, this one then drops. Hang on a minute, because I get. Yeah, and that'll fall down and miss you because I think your arm class is 21.
Yes.
And then minus your shield would take you down to 19, and I got an 18, so it just sort of like lands in the water, and it seems to be heading for this wall.
Mm-hmm.
That one there. Okay, Bzooker, you are up. Oh, sorry, yeah, I moved that one. Bzooker, you're up.
Yeah, okay, so this thing's annoyed him now that like it's still moving, and one of these things have already hurt him, so he's gonna really really take a swing at it now and try and kill it.
Cool.
That's one.
I'm so glad that worked out. You're like, I really try to hit it, and then you fumble.
The 18 hits, the 12 doesn't.
He's like, get off me!
8.
8. Yeah, and this
Can
you
I-
actually yeah.
With the 12, can I use the what's it called? The
8.
plus-
No, that's run off.
The
is
bless.
it?
The bless
it
is
only
gone.
lasts.
A bless.
Yeah.
lasts
Yeah.
1 minute.
Do you want to say how you kill it?
Yeah. So I've just you horrible, just swing it, hack at it, and yeah, straight down the middle of him.
Yeah, cool. And it just sort of like splits and flops down on either side, sort of like oozing this sort of like green blood-like liquid over.
I also kick it as well.
Say again, sorry. I didn't.
I also kick it as well as it's in the
Okay,
water.
yeah. It's just like, and
Just for good measure.
and it's almost like the water starts to cloud a bit, and then because of the flow of water, you notice that the cloud of like blood just runs towards Julius round his feet as it goes towards the exit down here. Okay, Tenariel, you're up.
First thing I'm going to do is call out, come back through the tunnel. Let them come to us one at a time.
It's a little late for that.
Yeah. We're already doing it.
Okay,
It's great strategy. I tried to keep Bzooker from running down the tunnel on his own. We're in this mess now.
No.
Julius, you are up. So both,
yeah, okay.
both of these larvae thingies now are actually under the water.
Okay.
So they're
I'm going to go for the one that has the most health, which is, I believe, is this one.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Lungs toward it. Through the gullet. 14.
I can't aid, can I?
14 actually misses it. So you try to jab it down with your sword, and it just sort of like misses altogether. Okay, Eravol, you're up.
The Bzooker kind of messed up my flow before he knocked that one down. I could have hit all 4 of them with the hail of thorns. But can I still? Do I have
You
reach
can.
to the?
You can now actually. That one's actually in the water. So getting a clean shot on either of the two in the water is going to be really difficult. Plus, you're going to have to fire your arrow through the water as well. This one that you can see as you just moved then, can you see this one here?
Yes, I can see that one.
That one's actually still on the ceiling and is
On the
still
ceiling,
moving. So
That's what I was thinking. But he's more than 5 feet away from the other two.
he
now,
is.
right?
That is
Okay.
correct, yeah.
So that ruins that. So just a single arrow shot. I'll step around here to get a cleaner angle on him.
Can you shift that? 20 hits. Yeah. Oh, nice.
All those noises.
Yeah. It sort of like whacks into him quite nicely. Right. Lava thingy's time. This one moves like this. This one, Julius, is heading to that wall. This one is heading to that one. They can only move 5 foot, so that's it. That's as far as they go. Okay, Bzooker, you're up.
I'm gonna chase this one down. And
Oh, that's cool. I was just about to say you can't actually reach this one. So not to go. Yeah, cool.
I couldn't reach that one.
Damage. Oh, it's 16 hits.
damn.
6 dozen.
No!
6. Do your damage on the first one.
Yeah. 8.
8. Okay, let me just adjust that. Okay, now make a dexterity saving throw, DC 12. Okay, you actually go and swipe this, and as you fumble your roll, you actually lose your footing, maybe on a slippery stone underneath the water, maybe a shiny gem that you actually went in, and you just sort of like go like that, and you end up prone
Okay.
in the water. Let me
Ooh.
put it.
Damn.
Okay, just to let you know, this lava isn't coming towards you. This lava is going to the wall. It's not doing.
Your
okay.
sickles cursed you for giving them up.
Yeah.
Really?
Tenariel.
Well, I see Bzooker go down, so I guess I'm going to have to come back through and see what's going on.
Pioneer rise in the combat.
Can I try and help Bzooker up?
Yes, you can. Well, that would just mean that if you help him up, that means that he won't have to take that action on the next round, and that'll be fine.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I fell in because I was that mad. I overswung.
Julius, you're up.
This one before me. I'll take a swing at.
Well, not me, Bzooker.
yeah. The little.
Yeah, nice one.
Well, it depends on what the damage. Oh yes.
8 points of damage, which actually kills this one nicely.
41.
There you go.
I'm still
Pop it
winning.
off.
I know, but
Okay.
I'm
Alval, you're up. So you can fire at this one.
Yep.
Still, yeah.
I'm just going to follow again in the same one. The same one here.
21 actually hits it nicely.
Quite nicely.
8. Hang on, I'm on the wrong.
I've got that song in my head now.
Yeah, that's still going. So so this is their movement. So that's actually in the, because roughly it can move its token. So that's not actually over you yet. But this one has got to the wall. Bzooker, you're up because your mommy, Tenariel came and picked you up.
I'll pat him on his head and you go and get that
Send him back
nasty
to school.
monster. Push him back into combat.
Okay, Bzooker.
I need to get out of this. Bazooka's like shrugs off, like get off, and charges it down and takes another swing.
"13 misses."
Damn it!
Are you
Oh,
mad
yeah,
you broke
that's-
your brand new chain shirt?
But 19 hits it.
6.
6 points of damage.
That's what I thought. Is like what? 15? What? 15
Yeah.
doesn't hit.
So it reaches the wall and you slice it again, and you actually open up a bit of its like carapace, its sort of like shell, its stone shell, and you rip. You can see its innards now, and its flesh-like guts in there, but it's just still very stubbornly crawls towards the wall. Tenariel, you are up.
Even more.
Not much I can do from here. I can't reach anything.
You can cheer.
Yay!
I'll get my pom-poms out and
You go, girl. You go, girl.
no, I'm just gonna wait.
Okay.
You don't want to take
watch.
your mace out again?
Julius.
Give me a Y. Give me an I. Give me an N.
No, I'm content to let
Julius,
these
you're
two
up.
handle it.
I'm gonna doing this. I'm gonna do my shields and prepare to stab like I did before.
You will actually be able to take a swing at it before it drops if you so desire.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I'd love to do. Yeah, and that's me.
Sorry, are you taking a swing at it before it drops on you? You can actually take a swing at it there.
I thought he was talking about waiting again for it to drop.
Yeah,
You
and
want to be all
that's what,
stylish.
I'll do it now.
and that's why I said you can actually take a swing at it if you wish.
Yeah, I didn't know I could. It's fantastic, awesome.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Fall in the water. Fall in the water.
DC 12.
What was it? Dexterity. Yeah.
Oh,
Damn it.
So all of a sudden, Julie sort of like leans back and tries to take a swipe at it, and he just gets the forward momentum of his weapon, just sort of like almost like twists him in the air. And Tenariel, you just sort of like shake your head in disbelief as the paladin just sort of goes and sort of like goes splash. A bit of the water comes up on Tenariel, which is
And now it's going to drop straight on your face.
which is not good, you know. Ervolt, you're up.
I'm going to take another shot at the one about to drop on Julius.
Somebody save me.
21's a good one.
Yeah.
Don't care how.
Yeah, and
do it.
you pierce it, and it's just sort of like drops where it is, and just sort of like lands next to
Yeah.
lands next to Julius, sort of like.
You have been saved.
You deserve a sugar cube, my friend.
Lava thingies. So this one next to you, Bzooker, is climbing up the wall another 5 foot. So Bzooker, it is your go.
I'm screaming mad rage at this point. Oh, sorry. Bazooka's screaming mad rage at this point. You slug, I will dab you.
You'll dab them.
21
Yeah.
hits. $17 hits as well.
You dab them hard.
4 and
4 and 5.
5. 9
Me?
points.
For you, that's like a minuscule dab.
And this one similarly falls down and
Yeah, I'm
is
still hacking it.
well
Yeah.
and truly broken to bits.
Sorry, yet Bazooka is still hacking it.
Damn you! Falling off my face!
I'm going to come down and I'll help Julius up. I'm
Yeah.
going to call, hey.
I'm
Once
not.
he's up, I'm going to step past him and look at Bazooka. Hey, little buddy, nobody's trying to come between you and whatever treasure we find. But if we say to hold off and not go in somewhere by yourself, it's usually because we're trying to help you.
You pick Julius up, and Julius, you empty out your gauntlets that's got water in,
All the water.
and sort of like shake you a bit, and a few sticklebacks drop out, you know, that have been living in here.
How's that shirt hand going for you?
Oh yes,
Bazooka, it's the one with the giant hole in its back now.
yeah. We kind of need to heal you up a little bit.
It's fine.
Wow, you were rocking today, and we've gotten like 25 new followers during the session.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
no, it happens all the time. It's because of the new,
Twitch out.
new
yeah.
Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen some of the things like, what the hell is going on?
Bazooka turns around and says, "You don't control me," and he's going to carry on picking up these tins and gems.
I don't care how I feel. Get away! Oh, shiny, shiny. Look, oh, shiny. Oh, shiny.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
shiny.
there's a range of there's. Oh, sorry, where? I was just wondering where Tenariel was going. Well, I was. Are you just staying there, Tenariel?
I'm staying there waiting for them to finish what they're doing.
Okay. From in here, you can see that there's actually picking them all up and counting them. There's exactly 14 gemstones. There's some moonstones, some quartz, some star rose quartz, some bloodstones. You don't think they're as expensive or as good as the ones that you found in the dust worms. Probably about 50 gold pieces, 70 gold pieces each. There's actually a potion. It's totally sealed. It has a watertight stopper on it. And then there's 2 jars. Opening them, one of them appears to have some white. If I say it's like hand cream, I assume you all know what that looks like. You know, it's
Brill cream.
yeah, it's a bit like brill cream, and there's not a lot of it in there. It's way down to the bottom, and the other one appears to be like a small snuff box, and it's full of dust.
Araval's going to pick up one of the gemstones and eye it dispassionately, and then he's going to walk over to Bzooker, crouch down, hand it out to him like a parent handing a child back his toy, and he says, "We can divvy these up when we get back."
And you give it to him?
Yes, I'm handing it to him.
Yeah.
Finders keepers.
Which one is it? Is it the moonstone, the quartz, the bloodstone?
The quartz.
The quartz, yeah. Okay. Cool.
So
And then I wasn't gonna dig into it earlier when we were starting combat, but when I squeezed past that thing, the way you described it suggested like it felt like a presence. Would that be my first thought as opposed to just some decaying creature that kind of gives way because it's decomposed so much?
It could be either.
It could be either. Okay, then I definitely want to point this out to the group. I was like, we need to take a look at the other end of this tunnel. There's what appears to be a deceased creature of some sort that is actually what was blocking the path.
Hang on. Can I just? Who is taking the gemstones? There's some gemstones. Is anybody taking those? Who's carrying them? That I know. Bzooker has the quartz. There's another 13 of them.
But he was scooping them up real quick. I took the time to pick up one, look at it, and hand it to him. So I think he was going for the set.
Okay, so I'll assume that Bzooker's carrying all 14 of them.
Unless somebody else wants to jump in and grab one before you can get it.
I have no interest in this earthly, filthy worth because I'm fulfilled with the religious going-ons of the world.
The only value it holds is how it can aid us in our future endeavors.
There's this potion.
Yeah, well,
I'll take the potion. The mysterious potion.
The bro cream.
Do you want
No,
to?
no, that's something else.
You can stick your finger into the potion and taste a bit of it to see what it is.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'm gonna.
And then make a fortitude save.
Save or die.
Yeah, you figure the potion's a potion of greater healing, so it will actually heal 4d4 plus 4, but there's only one dose in it, and you can't split it up into eighths or anything like that. You take it as one, and it's 4d4 plus 4.
4.
Oh, you want to
4d4 plus 4.
Yeah.
Suddenly, this treasure's not so useful. Huh?
Some treasures are better than more. It depends how you look at it. Yeah.
Okay. There's the who's taking the brill cream.
Is that exactly what we're going to call it?
Teneria is having a snack. She's got a little pouch of nuts and berries, and she's just
She's been there for whole combat, just
sitting quietly, munching away.
Aaron would actually be a little more interested in the empty snuff box.
It's not empty. It's full of
Oh,
snuff.
you said it was dust. Oh, snuff.
No, dust. Yeah, it's full of dust. Yeah, rather than snuff. Yeah. So, what is Araval taking that?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you doing anything with it, or just popping it into your?
I think I want to wrap it up in a piece of clothing or something like that, and put it in my pack.
Cool.
Just to keep it shut.
Yeah, and then there's the brill cream. Is anybody taking that?
What kind of container is it in?
Say again, sorry.
What kind of container is it in?
It's like a tin tobacco pot. It's quite ornate on the top, and it looks like it looks like it looks like it would go well on a lady's dressing table. It's tin. It's a tin.
It's
box.
a tin.
Yeah.
Good, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll pick that up as well if nobody else is interested in it.
Okay.
Squat rectangular shape with you open kind of.
It's just funny how everyone's now like, oh, okay, there's loot, there's good loot here.
Nobody
Oh
says-
no, we weren't saying no for you to enter this place. By the way, we were just like, go ahead.
No,
We'll see
I
what
said,
happens.
hold off, let's think about it, and you ran ahead. I didn't say let's do, I said think for a minute.
I'm not stopping you upon your nature. It's like, we'll see
And
what.
we only picked up the items that you weren't interested in.
Oh,
Mm.
I would have picked it all up if no one's going to touch it. But you started picking it up, so it's good. You're like, oh, it's
Oh,
too good.
we got to spread it out a little bit, you know.
Cup of tea, but fine.
No, I said we're going to split it up when we get back. Now is not the time to divvy up.
Okay. What would you like to do, guys?
I want to go back and examine this creature up here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's definitely. It seems to be an organic, almost like a stalagmite, quite broad. It seems very desiccated now, very dried out. It definitely had a series of tendrils or tentacles coming off it. You can see now on closer inspection that it did used to there's an eye orbit, and there's obviously some kind of gaping maw, some kind of mouth as well, that it probably, so it was definitely alive.
Does it have a similar appearance to those larvae that we just killed?
Possibly. I think the difference would be that this is a lot bigger.
Right.
It's hanging the wrong way because it's hanging the wrong way round because the other ones were hanging at tights, hanging down. This one is hanging up. This one seems to have tendrils of some description, and it seems to be a lot bigger. The other ones would be, it's the same outer shell, the same outer sort of like consistency of this one, but
Rock.
yeah, rock like, but it doesn't have the ones inside didn't have any tendrils, but it was quite similar apart from that.
I'm going to take my long sword and see if I can slice it open.
Yeah, I mean, as you slice it down, it's very desiccated now. It's obviously dried out a lot, so it just sort of like peels back, and it obviously had some kind of internal organs, but it's over hundreds of years. It's completely dried up, and it's completely and utterly dried up and dead now, and it looks like it has been dead for some time.
Nothing inside it of value.
No, nothing at all.
Give it some.
Can I carve it up enough to be able to get past it easier?
Yeah, you can actually, you'd figure now, once you've sort of like sliced it up, that as you went past it, you noticed that it gave way on the far side of you. So as you came around, the reason it leant away was that it was actually losing some structure at one side, and that's why it moved. It wasn't moving because it was sentient or anything like that.
Okay, I'm going to move past it into the tunnel, see if we can get everybody to regroup.
I'm going to slide my way through as well,
Yeah, cool.
if I can.
So we've cleared this level. I think I've had enough of our subterranean venture for one day. Let's head back up and talk to the engineers and see if they can clear the, or at least inspect the area a little bit before we move farther.
Just so you know, this train track here, as you can see now, actually goes down for some distance as far as your light beacon actually shows you. So if once then you will be able to progress further down this slope to sort of like see what's down there. Okay, so
yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah, go for it. No, go for it.
No, I think I agree with Ervil. So we can start getting some engineers, repair the turntable if they can, that kind of thing as we progress forward. That kind of thing before we progress. But yeah, that is definitely the way we're going to go.
Is the idea now to go back up and say take a long rest now, and then come back down and then progress further down?
We're going to see what the engineers say. I think, well, I don't know if I'm talking to the group or talking out of character here, but I think that we should get back to the surface and suggest that they should come down and inspect the area. I have a feeling they're going to insist that we return with them. Yeah,
their idea is that they're quite happy to work in this area as long as you figure out what's beyond that downward slope, and that they can form some kind of barricade to barricade it behind you. Because they said what they don't want to do is for you guys to go down there and then for them sort of like clearing up this area, maybe support increasing some of the support beams, and then find out that something comes up from there that has got past you and just sort of like rips them to shreds. The only other thing that I need some concrete instructions about is the accommodation area. What exactly you want to do with that bit? You know where you found the table and the skeletal bodies?
I would suggest they stay out of there for right now. There's still something going on. At the very least, that the unnatural dryness of that cavern suggests that something else is in effect.
So, I mean, you could take the table and almost like use it to, it won't completely seal that entrance, but it would block it.
Just create a barricade.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, then.
So I think we'll suggest that we will block off that tunnel with the table, return to the surface, encourage the miners to come back down and inspect those other two tunnels, support whatever they can. If they're concerned about the lower levels, we'll offer to have a guard stand watch. But once this area is secure, then we'll proceed further down.
Okay.
While the guard stands watch, I imagine in my mind that the next level of concourse will be, with my 8-level intellect, will be the escape. So do it like try a lift or something to that extent to try and get out of the area as quickly as possible. Kind of contraption.
We can probably construct a rope ladder while they're doing that.
I mean, left to their own devices, they can probably work on that while you're sort of like adventuring further down. You mentioned 2 tunnels. What was the 2 tunnels that you wanted them to?
The 2 ends of these train tracks will determine if the rubble can be cleared. I can't see all the way down, but to the left and the right,
got you.
There's areas where it looked like it went further.
Also,
they're able to secure it and clear that rubble.
Ask them if they can study the cave-ins to see if they were natural cave-ins or whether the miners deliberately blocked those tunnels.
Yeah, so the 2 at either side,
because they may have been deliberately blocked to keep something in.
Yeah, okay, so try to get them to determine whether or not there were a purposeful landslide or whether or not it just be natural. Okay, one more question. Sorry, what about, and you can still see it, what about this one here? Do you want them to do anything about that one?
Inspect the area.
In there as well. And see if they can determine what was here. There may be traces of some mineral they were mining. Or it may have just been a random exploration shaft.
Yeah.
Same with this other side passage here where the workbench was. If they can inspect that, determine the nature of the buckling, and if it can be secured.
Yeah, okay then, yeah. And then I've moved the table back over the entrance to the accommodation section. Okay, and is it the plan that you guys will take a long rest up at the top and then head down here further? Yeah. Okay, so let me give you some information, and so you take your long rest. Then they start working on that rope ladder idea to sort of like provide a quicker way up and down the mine shaft. The miners can come down and they can actually give you some information which might be worth knowing. Do you want to just move yourselves back to where the turntable was? And then, oh, hang on, I tell you what I can do. Hang on, I can do it. Let me do this because you actually know everywhere now.
Oh wow.
Okay, so can you then now see everywhere? Yeah.
Yeah. As Bzooker's on the turntable, I wish it wasn't destroyed because I just want to turn him around.
Yeah. So the miners come down and sort of like start setting up lights and lanterns to sort of like light the way, and they can give you some various information about various areas. Okay, these cave-ins at this side and this side they say that they're completely natural cave-ins. From what happened, it looks like the over the hundreds of years, the ceiling has actually collapsed in, and it looks like it's quite, especially the one to your east, with north being straight up on the map, the one to the east, it's quite substantial. They do say to you that the normal layout of a mine, that would be that they would excavate those areas and then put them across to accommodation. So the chances are further down there would have been more accommodation from what you found, and a similar thing to the one to the west. That would have been more accommodation. They actually, this area here, they actually say that the ceiling was in danger of falling down and could have actually collapsed at any time. And they sort of like say, oh, it's a good job you didn't actually go in there, because that could have actually collapsed any time and just sort of like done a whole load of damage to anybody. So that's there. They can easily repair that. They do look at the schemes of work and the plans, and they just say that it's so faded now that they can't actually get anything from it. The miners just sort of like go, huh, at this area. They say it's definitely an exploration shaft. There might have been a thin seam of ore there that they started to investigate, but obviously it came to nothing, so they just stopped and didn't go anywhere at all. The water they find very interesting, because they said that this area, they must have originally dug into it either from here or from here, in a similar way as they did this track, and then gone in and found the water or a naturally formed cave there, and then tried the other way and then came across it as well. So they actually think probably from here to about here was if that's probably inside is actually some kind of natural formed cave or cavern that's been there for quite some time. And then it's sort of like the water is actually some kind of natural spring, which is really beneficial. And they think they probably, this is how the mine kept going for so long. They probably used that water for water and washing and to clean tools and to sharpen tools, etc., with whetstones and things like that. They can easily repair the turntable. The one thing that they do, you hear them muttering for quite a while, and they mutter and they keep muttering to themselves. The two miners sort of like mutter to themselves over and over and over and over again. And then one of you sort of like says, in the end, you get so sick of it, you say, "Oh, guys, what are you muttering about?" And they say, "It's really peculiar because there's no wagons, there's no mine carts, even though there is a rail track here. There's literally no wagons, there's no mine carts at all. And no matter what, in a working mine, you never have all the wagons down in the mine. You'll have some down there, you'll have some up at the top." And they say it's really strange that there's actually no carts up at this top part at all. What's even more strange is that there's no remnants of them. There's no broken ones or anything like that. The other thing that they are really puzzled about, really puzzled about, is that their understanding, according to legend, the mine was left quite quickly, and it actually left in a hurry due to the poisonous gases, etc. The other thing that they're quite amazed by is the total lack of tools. There seems to be, normally in a working mine or even a mine that's been left, you would have buckets, quite big like barrels with pickaxes and spades and everything like that in it. But they're quite amazed that in this whole upper section there seems to be nothing of that. There does not seem, there's only one, that there's one pickaxe, hammer axe. They don't know this, but that the only one that you found was with that guy in the cavern, that was sleeping.
I kind of asked them, is it possible they could, all that stuff could be behind one of these rock falls? Yeah.
They say they could be, but for them, this is almost like the heart of the mine. So if people were leaving for the day, normally they say that sort of like here, if you can see where I'm pinging, and here, in this area, there would be a whole load of barrels. So as the miners came up, or from either end, they would put their pickaxes and spades in those barrels and then head off to the accommodation or head down here. And even if, and then to go out, or the wagons would be pushed up here and then they would be left up here for the next shift of them to push them back down again. You don't leave the wagon down at the ore face. You would fill it up, bring it up, and then wait for it, and then take it back. And they just say it's completely. They would have expected a whole load of, if I say mining paraphernalia, to be around. And they're quite shocked that the two miners you might just have stupid miners, remember that, but they're quite shocked, and they're a bit cross that the turntable's broken, by the way.
Stupid miners don't last long.
No.
Yeah, but if they left in a hurry, and all the stuff, everyone was down in these parts down here and down there, all mining. And then that gas came in and they all left in a hurry, wouldn't they just leave everything where it is and just get out as quick as possible?
Well, and that's exactly what they're saying. There would be barrels up here that even if, for example, worst case scenario, say that every single pickaxe and every single spade was in use.
Right.
You would they're saying is that there's no mining. Put it this way, if you didn't know this was a mine, there's nothing really here to tell you it is a mine.
On the turntable.
Yeah, apart from the tracks, but there's no wagons. There's nothing. And that's what the miners say to you, that is what they find unusual. That's what they say.
Do they seem at all concerned that there's a tunnel that we have blocked off? I'm not going to draw any attention to it, but with their moving around, have they noticed it? Or
they do when they come down to sort of like view this tunnel, they do sort of like say, you know, they ask what's in there, but I assume you'll come up with a suitable reason. I mean, even if you said something like, you know, there's dead bodies in there, they're not likely to go in it.
okay,
You know, they do state that the guards say that they will actually, because you remember you got 2 guards.
right,
The guards will will guard the top of this corridor of the track going down, and after you've had a long rest, and then you can proceed back down. Neither the miners or the guards are happy spending a long rest down here. They will all only sleep topside. They're not, and they're not very happy about this thing.
oh, all right.
They're not very happy about that at all, because it looks.
I wouldn't expect them to sleep down there. Maybe we would just kind of work out shifts where they work down here and then sleep up top.
Yeah, but that's what the guards were saying. You know, if there's a guard down here, he can't be on guard there and then go straight up to guard duty up at the top, because there's only 2 of them. So there will be a gap in that shift. Okay, and then so you people can regain hit points, and just to let you know, the aid spell will wear off. That will go by then. But Tenariel, are you keeping your light? Yeah.
I'll cast it again when we come back down.
Yeah. So
There's another question that I'd like to ask the miners, but I can't think of a reasonable reason why Ereval would think of this. Is it possible that I can suggest it to Big Beastie? Because it would make more sense coming from a gnome or a dwarf.
What's the question?
When you dig a tunnel, isn't it usually the first thing you do is you build an exit tunnel so that there's a separate path
and venture
to get out and ventilation?
Yeah.
So we're not seeing any kind of ventilation or escape tunnels here.
No, at this point, because the entranceway would be the exit and the vent shaft.
Yeah, but as the miners point out, at the present moment there doesn't seem to be one, but we don't know. It could be down here.
It would be common for there to be a second.
Or it could be down here.
Okay.
It could be on either those. It's not likely to be further down now because it's on quite a steep decline going further down. But yeah, it's totally acceptable. But they said it was probably more likely to be down one of these tunnels, or I think, as Julius was saying, more like a ventilation shaft. At the bottom, at those 2 accommodations, they said how they create their mines, they often have the accommodation and then they have like a lot smaller ventilation shaft, so the fresh air is actually pulled down directly onto the accommodation area and then filtered through. So it's probably down there.
Do they know how long it would take to clear either of those side tunnels? I mean, I'm not expecting it to be today or just the 2 of them.
No, they actually don't know how, because they don't know how far it goes. All they say is that it's a natural cave-in, and it's quite a substantial natural cave-in. And they don't even know whether or not you would be able to clear it, because it might be that almost like the whole ceiling has come down, and as you start to take rocks away, more rocks might just collapse onto it, and then you might just get subsidence from up above going down. They said if you want them to try to locate the ventilation shaft, they're quite happy to go and have a look for that up top side at one point.
Okay. So they spent time down here assessing and resupporting this main area while we took our rest, right? And then we came down afterwards to to find out about everything that
what
happened.
what happened is that you probably brought them down and showed them round and showed them what you wanted them to do. They then, I mean, depending on the time of day and etc., they probably came up, had some something to eat, and then took their long rest, and then the next day they probably came down and started to do some work, and you sort of like cleared off your armor, made sure there's no water in your boots because you don't want to get foot rot and things like
Or
that.
gloves.
Yeah, and sort of like, you know what it's like, you know, if you get if you get water in your boots.
I don't want to be a rusty Iron Man. Come on.
So you probably did a bit of that. So it's a good sort of like day, and so you think that the next full day you'll be ready to venture down further down the track.
Is there anything else that you guys can be doing while we explore the lower levels, or are you going to wait for us up top again?
They're going to be busy themselves doing what you've asked them to do. So they'll be reinforcing structures and checking things out. So when you come back from the next level, they'll be able to give you more up-to-date information about things. So they're going to fix the turntable for you as well, and make sure that that's already done. But when you come back, they might also be able to tell you things about the 2 landslides at either end, whether or not they're completely natural. They will also make sure that this is supported completely. So, you know, it's not going to fall down at any time. And sort of like, they'll probably find the ventilation shaft as well to make sure that that's all in the right place.
Okay, we'll leave you to work out the details of that then.
Cool. So, guys, what I suggest we do is that we leave it there, which means that it's also a good time for Rurik to come back. Because if he comes back next week, it means that he can actually... come back as you. I'm going to put him back on now. He's just there he goes. His stomach's a lot better now. He's been,
We hope.
Yeah, you hope. Yeah. So, and then that allows you to get spells back, etc., and then head on down. At the start of the next week, you can head on down the tunnel and see what lies deeper in the Wittecombe Mine. Is there anything out of character that you would like to know about the adventure today?
All this fantastic magic available to us, and we can't cure a simple stomach bug.
Yeah. No, well, Tenariel does have that magic to cure him, but she said that he would have to pay for his evil ways of drinking. And
There you
that's
go.
it.
Or a cold for Paladin. There's a resistance to disease.
You know, we can never cure the common cold. Okay, anything else you would like to know?
How many sessions do you think we'll spend delving the mine?
That depends how many times you come backwards and forwards.
Oh, we have to keep going back and forth.
Well,
Okay.
it's up to you. You know, there's 16 levels, so I mean, it's up to you. And I think the other thing that is interesting in what I can never predict what happens. So I mean, it's a bit like sometimes combats take like a full session sometimes, you know,
Right.
or something like that. And then sometimes it might be a case that you get captured. You know, there might be something that wipes you out and you get captured, and then we'll go down another area. Say again, sorry.
The dice rolls as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
today you've been doing really well with your dice rolls. You know, it's been unbelievable. Some of your dice rolls.
Literally.
But compared to sort of like some sessions where your dice rolls have been never above a 10 at times, you know.
Right.
You know, but today, I mean, a lot of the time, I mean, even if you just look, there's a whole load of 20s, you know, across it, you know, all the time. But even things like your healing rolls, you know, Tenariel heals for 10 points. You know, even that's sort of like massive. So I mean, there's been some really good. The only roll that hasn't been. I bet you wish you had saved that wisdom save. That was brilliant, 22 and 22. but
It was meant to be a joke because I was thinking of what would he do?
Yeah.
How is he going to make the connection that other path would come around the other side of
yeah,
it?
cool. But
It just ended up being a big waste.
and
There were a few fumbles here and there.
yes, but that's what I was going to say. It seemed that the scores, the dice rolls this week were either brilliant or disastrous.
Dire.
Yeah,
but,
we've never had that many fumbles in a single session either.
And it was that's what I was saying. I mean, even dexterity rolls, there were some brilliant dexterity rolls as well. And I was just looking at my dustworm hits. I mean, my dustworm hits were dire. My dice rolls 7.
Well, they were against me.
Yeah, but it's all like a lot of them were really low. Throughout that combat, apart from you, Tenari, I got a good one against you. But yeah, I think your dice rolls were either brilliant or dire. But that was it. Okay, so as always, I'm back into big screen mode. So if you would like to, we'll just quickly go around and people can say where you can be found and give a plug about your own, either your own channel or the games that you are in and still alive in, Sprocketeer. Are you making up a new character? Is that the idea?
The two of us that died made up new characters, but we did a job for a priest in the town who promised us free resurrections.
All right.
So the surviving orc barbarian has found a bathtub. He's put our corpses in the bathtub and he's dragging the bathtub back to town with our bodies in it.
Cool. Nice.
To take to the priest.
So have you got new characters then for tomorrow?
I rolled up 2 because I wasn't sure which one I was going to use or whether I was going to get resurrected or not.
Right.
So I think I'd prefer to keep the druid, but she's going to be one hell of a mental case. She's died twice now. She's been fireballed and blown to hell, and she's going to be neurotic as hell.
And I must agree with you. Every time you die, it tends not to be your fault.
It's never my fault.
No. In the sense that I'm not. In the sense that somebody else often starts something, and you seem to get the bloodshed. Anyway,
I'm just standing there innocent.
Yeah. Anyway, tell people where they can find you on your wonderful games that you play.
Well, you can find me here, of course, and in the new RuneQuest game in Wills is running, and that's alternate Mondays.
Yeah, so it's not this Monday; it's the following Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm playing Curse of Strahd with the Dead Druid in that's Sundays at 1 p.m. And I'll be in Skageth's first edition D&D, the the Village of Homlet. That's 11 p.m. Monday night.
Yeah.
And that's been good fun.
Yeah. You have a busy Monday night when there's RuneQuest followed by
5 minutes to grab a coffee between and a bio.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Well, of course.
Excellent. And Big Beastie, where can people find you?
You can find me in my channel, streaming sometimes when I can be bothered, or you can find me.
That's what I like. Total dedication.
Or you can find me here on a Monday or alternate Mondays, playing again Mithril, and again on a Tuesday playing
Shadowrun. Yeah, this Tuesday. Yeah.
You're becoming a permanent D&D player, aren't you? Or D&D gamer.
I'm making up for all the missed games I could have got in when I was a kid.
Brilliant.
When I thought everyone was a nerd.
You called me a nerd, and there's you.
And Cryptex, where can people find you?
You can find me on my channel. Been playing every Saturday and Sunday mornings for me. It's actually 1600 GMT. This morning we just started playing Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to be continuing our Dead Space as well as some long dark story mode.
Brilliant. And finally, flat battery.
Dead Space. I hope to get you do all the series on that one, and find the first one. Absolutely. Oh well. I'm not going to say anything. Right, I'm Flat Battery. You can find me on Twitch TV, Flat_Battery. Hopefully, there we go. A link. I am a variety streamer, although most of the time now that I'm playing PUBG at the moment. Please don't take that against me. I'm going to be playing PUBG after this game as well. Whenever I start. Big thank you to Inwells and everybody else that have joined us on this D&D stream.
Our ongoing adventures.
I'm going on a whirlwind adventure.
Excellent, thank you very much. Okay then, so guys, you've been watching the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons stream. Thank you to Roy Killer 91 for bringing us some viewers tonight. I hope, and thank you to everybody who's followed via the Twitch app or has just followed in any case. Thank you to everybody who's been watching today. I hope you've... Oh, Clout's in the stream. I hope you've enjoyed today's adventure, and if you are looking forward to seeing what happens on level 2 of the Wittecombe Mine, then please make sure you come back next Saturday at 8 o'clock to see what happens next. I will be streaming tomorrow at 3 o'clock BST time when we'll be doing some Elder Scrolls Online, coming up to 45th, or I am 45th. I'm getting very close to 45th, so only 5 more levels with my Templar, and then will be it. And keep an eye up. I keep my events up to date down below, so please keep an eye on that and see what is going on. I really hope you have enjoyed tonight's adventure, and I like to just finish in my normal way by saying, remember, always say who you are and be who you are and say what you feel, because the people who mind don't matter and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, guys, and I will catch you all later, and until then, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Bye.